Hey there guys, it's Salis, and welcome back to Salis' Week of Super. And welcome to Who's That Flying? This is the perfect example of a comedy superhero game. It is stupid, it is ridiculous, but it is a very simple game and it does everything it does very, very well. For example, the first option is go save or destroy something. Mess with options. This game is comedy right out the gate. But allow me to show you, like, the main story of this. I hope it shows the cutscenes, because the cutscenes make this game. As you can see, I've unlocked Infinite Mode and Challenge Mode because I've beaten the damn game. But let me show you how this works. Come on, show the cutscene, show the cutscene. They're funny, I want to see them all. I want you to see them all. They're amazing. Oh, no. But yeah, this is basically the gameplay. Earth is being attacked by this. You play as Earth, the defender of his named planet, as appointed by the Galactic Council. Although if they're anything like my local council, they're more or less useless. But enough about politics. And the reason you're doing all this is because for some reason these Ravager beasts have been unleashed upon your planet. And that's not good for galactic civilization, really, is it? But one thing you'll note about this game is you are immortal. As a superhero, you cannot be killed. But Salis, I hear you screaming. Why is there a health bar if you can't be hurt? Very simple, as I just showed you, that's the city's health. And as you can see, the city in the background, the clever thing they do with this, that city actually takes damage as more and more of these Ravagers get past. And you'll notice I'm not using the Hyper Beam I've stored up in the bottom left corner. Reason being, I want that as a big finish for this level. And also because in this first level, it's really not that relevant. This is basically an introduction stage. And the enemy types do vary, but not these kind. These are in every level. These little black Ravagers that look like angry, teethy tar. So what would happen if you distilled 1 million cigarettes? But you can also tear them apart. Right, I want to make sure I save the Hyper Beam to finish the level, because that would be awesome. But I'm really depressed it didn't show you the cutscenes, because the cutscenes, like I said, they make this game. The framing device for all this is you are a superhero on trial. And you're on trial for not being super. In other words, you didn't defend your planet from these things, and everything done got fucked up. Later on, there is the token betrayal that is in every fucking video game ever made ever. Right, I think now's the time to deploy the Hyper Beam. Oh yes, that's a weapon. Now your weapon charge goes through 3 stages: Turbo Fire, Super Beam and Hyper Beam. But I'll show you those in the next level because they become a lot more relevant when the different enemy types start coming in. Right, space to continue. If you want to play this game seriously, you can't, because it's just too funny. Like I said, the whole on trial thing plays a major role. Like, all the defenders of every planet is there, and naturally everyone is taking the piss out of the Guardian of Uranus. Feel free to insert your own joke, but never mind. But yeah, this is first stage, New York. Arguably the easiest bit, but there are bosses in this game that kick your ass, which made the final boss of this rather anticlimactic for me, because it was so bloody easy. I mean, once you learn the tactics, I mean, the Mexico boss was probably one of the hardest. Purely because of the way you have to fight it. And oh, don't even get me started on the Mexico boss. It took me ages to defeat that thing. Moscow was also a bit of an arse, but also that's just reminded me, actually. If every single time you're defending a city, but then suddenly you're defending all of Mexico, Right, here's where the enemy variation comes in. You get these snake monsters. In New York. Don't ask why, but they are. Snake monsters have come to take New York, and they fry your ass with electricity. But like I said, you're immortal, it's only the city that takes damage. And I'm sure you'll notice that damage that I talked about earlier coming in when we show you some of the harder levels, because I'm not going to stay in New York. I'm not. Right, time to deploy the super beam. As you can see, it's a much smaller version of the hyper beam. Turbo fire is, as you can imagine, rapid fire. And considering how rapidly you're firing at the moment anyway, that is pretty damn fast. Die, snake monsters! Deploy the super beam! Yes! We are beaming it up today. Ah! I love the fact that if they get close, you can just rip them in half. And as I said, you get a more powerful version of that in a bit. It's actually in the next level. Rapid fire! Come on! I want me to kill! I didn't click go save or destroy something for the sake of not doing it. Hooray! Now, like I said, bloody things. Right, deploy the turbo fire. We're going to clean up New York the only way we know how, by blowing the living piss out of it. And as you can see, like I said, the background has taken significant damage because I'm down to below half health on the city. I'm not a good superhero. I really hope, like, if I look in the extras in a bit, I might be able to show you some of the cutscenes, because some of the jokes in this are... They're the most basic kind of jokes you can imagine, but they work. They just work. Whoa, that was just a head. Now, the thing is, I gold medaled that the first time, and it expects you to get a platinum trophy. Naturally, you have to get perfect city health. This game is very, very hard. I'm not going to lie, and it's even harder while commentating. I mean, I suppose it's the whole shtick with these kind of things. Right. Now I get to show you one of the bosses as well. Because the bosses in this are... They're kind of spoiled for you, but... They're interesting nonetheless. But this is where I get to show you the improved version of ripping these things in half. Because the game does follow a formula. Level 1, basic enemies. Level 2, you've got a lot more of the... Like, you've got the snake creatures in this, then you've got different enemies in different areas. And obviously in like the last couple of areas, you've got infinite enemies of bloody every type, and that's freaking annoying. But in the third level, you always get the big lads. Like this! He is basically an upgraded version of the snake monsters. And the only way to beat him, you whittle his health down with the gun. I say you whittle his health down with the gun, hold control, and boom! Their bodies become a massive smart bomb that destroys everything in the vicinity. So we deploy the super beam. Unfortunately, because those snake monsters are basically made by connecting a load of balls and animating them individually, the only vulnerable spot on the big lads is the head. Later enemies don't have this massive, like, problem of multiple areas you can hit because they are basically one unit. Which is always handy for your superheroing needs. There we go. Ah, fuck it. Have some of that, you bitch. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the fact you can rip these things in half, but I have on several occasions been so swarmed with these, I got into an infinite cycle of just ripping them. And when you've got two quite close together like that, and they're close up, you can rip them in half in such a way that... Smart bomb deployed! I always show you the other animation he has for doing that. Sometimes he'll pull out his even better one, which I love even more, because it's so ridiculously stupid. I mean, you can tell this guy's the Guardian of Earth. Because only on Earth would that make any sense. You go to any other planet in the galaxy, and you believe me, and I may have just revealed I'm not human. Oh, whoopsie doodle. Never mind. You go to any other planet and suddenly this shit stops making sense. Come on. I want to show off his other animation. Do it. Right. No, same one. I'm going to stick an energy ball down its throat. Ah, knackers. I will eventually show you the other one, I promise. Because he only has 2 animations for doing that, but... it always feels so rewarding when you watch everything explode. Right, blow the turbo fire. Fuck everything up. I am massively fucking everything up. That's not cool. Come on. I need the turbo fire. There we go. Deploy the turbo fire. Bugger. The job of these, like, tier 2... there it is! Earth scores a home run. Right, there we go. Boss time! What do you think it is, guys? Do you think it's a giant snake? Yes, it is a giant fucking snake. Now, you may ask how these bosses are supposed to damage things, because the only time you take damage is when the Ravagers get past you. Every boss comes with a whole horde, sorry, host? What the fuck is a host? Of these mini Ravagers. So you're constantly fighting a boss while trying to defend your city from the little evil Tower of Doom. Actually, I know what they are. They're that black slime from X-Files. Does anyone remember that? No. Looked a bit like Marmite. Right, hold control. Right, we destroyed one of his balls. Don't laugh. Right, his tail ball is gone. Right, we need to kill more Ravagers, because otherwise, bloody boss is blocking me. Ah. This boss is smart. He knows my tactics. My tactics being shoot first and ask questions never. Now you may notice a timer has appeared under the health bar. This timer doesn't exist until you fight a boss, and that's quite annoying because... destroy your balls! Having the boss fight on a timer means you can fail even if your city's at full health. And I love the fact that in this game, because of the whole trial theme, when you fail, you don't get a game over, you get a guilty verdict, and it's hilarious. They've worked so well with the theming of this game, it's hard to find things I don't absolutely love about it. Turbo fire deployed. Right, blow your face balls off. Yes. He is down. There are very few bosses like this, however, that have multiple stages. It's like, the last boss I found to be hella easy, way even easier than that. Right, here we go. Did you see the wreath? Yes, very impressive. Hi, Uranus. But isn't your role to prevent invasions before they reach your cities? Hello, Uranus. Decide to butt in? In fact, everyone laughs at these. Jupiter, he's making fun of me. That's a direct attack on my good name and title. Uranus, your title is intrinsically funny. It's best we all just accept that and move on. Because you were showboating for a magazine photo shoot? Exhibit B. Ah! Well, may I have a rebuttal? Let us hear the next testimony. I love this thing so bloody much. But I think I'm going to show you 2 more levels. And then we'll conclude the video here. Because there's not really that much in way of gameplay. In fact, know what I'll do? I'll show you 1 video, 1 more level, and then we'll have a look at the extras I've unlocked. The goo! It burns! Yes, we're doing this one. We are going to be fighting the goo. Right, welcome to Moscow, everyone! And we've been introduced to the level 2 enemies right off the bat. Because this is the 2nd stage, and you don't want to just fight Black Ravagers forever. Now, later on, you do get bigger versions of this too. Like I said, enemy variation isn't very much a priority. What is a priority, though, is fun, and this game certainly is that. As the goo, it burns! No, you bastards, you cost me my hyper beam! For that you will die! As horribly as possible, if possible. Thank you. Right, at least I've got turbo fire available if I need it. Right. Die horribly. Right, turbo fire engaged. The more of these things I take out, the more heroic I become. Them's the rules, right? Right, super beam ready. I'm not going to show you any more of the bosses, because some of the bosses in this... I mean, the fights themselves are pretty challenging with some of them. Because some of them have, well, as you saw, one had multiple stages. Some have weird tactics that you have to do a certain thing in order to expose their weak points, blah, 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 blah. Standard gaming tropes, really. But you play this for the story. Right, I've got a hyper beam. I am holding on to this bad boy. And as you saw at the start, I have unlocked infinite mode, which basically you choose a city to defend, and it keeps going and going and going and never stops until the city dies. And I can confirm that that gets very, very hard, especially when your hand starts cramping up. Die, 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 die. All of you will die. It's so nice these Ravagers just politely queue up to be massacred. Right, don't get caught in the goo. Don't get caught in the goo. The goo is bad. No, no, the goo! Hyper beam engaged! Destroy everything! I must save Moscow from impending peril. That's the word. You only can't get your words out and then suddenly it comes to you. Right, turbo fire. Destroy them all! Onward for great dickery. Right, there we go. Now we're going to go back to the main menu briefly, just so I can show you what's in the extras files. Come on. I don't know why the loading times are this long, but this is basically a standard loading time. Even on a low-level rig, it's about the same. So, let's go to extras. As you can see, you get various trophies for doing stuff. All-American Hero, don't let anything take a bite out of the Big Apple. Yeah, basically perfect New York. Yep. Perfect every city and you get trophies. A mountain of squishy enemies. Awarded for destroying an obscene number of Ravagers. Oh yes, yes I did. Up close and personal, go toe-to-toe with 100 monstrous foes. Not guilty. Prove your innocence once and for all. Basically finish the game. But you also get magazines. And you get those for getting... You've got a gold medal every single stage. And that is very, very tricky. But this has been Who's That Flying? It's an amazingly fun game. And it usually turns up really cheap in the Steam sale, so if you want a bit of wacky fun with a bit of silly humour thrown in, and it is silly humour, it's the most puerile thing in the world, but some of it just works. The art style's great, I mean the music is fantastic. Mediatonic, you did a great job with this game. I encourage everyone to get this, because I think it's amazing. So thank you all for watching, and until the continuation of Salis' Week of Super, I've been Salis, he's been Defender of the Earth, and I will see you next time.